Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. And Heavenly Father, I thank you for waking me up this morning, giving me another day. I pray that all of you are okay and y'all said the same thing when you woke up this morning because a lot of us didn't wake up. A lot did not make it. But yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. Um, Y'all remember the young man that just passed away, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo from the Cosby Show? Yeah, may he rest in peace. Well, allegedly, the tea is out. They are saying that this young man allegedly was M. Um, it's so many accusations, you know what I'm saying? They're also saying he suffered with depression. It's so much that's being said. What I don't understand is why when a person dies, why when a person is unalive, especially when the person is a young age, not excuse me, especially if the person is a young person. You know, he died, he was 54. I don't know if all those accusations are true or not, but we'll have to wait and see. We will hear about it. But the funny thing about this is when a person is unalive when they're young, you hear all sorts of this, all sorts of that. Oh, the person was too young to die. You hear all of this, you hear all of these different rumors, comments, whatever you want to say. When the person was alive, most of the time you don't hear none of this negative stuff about him. The person, they were saying that, he was a private person and, intelligent and, he spoke up for this and he spoke up for that. But now that he's unalive, all this other stuff is coming out. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. And if he was M, well, the Almighty saw who did it. And maybe something will come out of it. I don't know. But I don't know. The sea, the ocean, the sea, growing up, I always heard that the sea is a woman. And, people going out there swimming and stuff, you have to be very, very careful. The currents are really dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be really careful. They also was saying that his daughter, she's supposed to be 8 years old, she was swimming with him. And there was another young man, 19 years old. They claim, allegedly, the daughter came back out alive. The other young person, the young man, he came out alive, but they had to take him to the hospital. I don't know, you're hearing so much different stories. I just pray that it wasn't like that, but if it was, that is really sad. That is really sad. You know what I'm saying? And people have to be aware of who they are around, they friends, they whatever. You know what I'm saying? People have to be very careful because you just never know what could happen to you. Story time. I remember some years back, I had a cousin. It's not the same situation, but similar. My cousin, God rest his soul, Quentin, They lived in Boston. They relocated from New York City to make a better life, and they lived in Boston. And him and his wife, brother, you know, they Quentin, he had a skill, you know, he go around, he went around buying houses and he fixed them up and stuff like that. You should see his house that he left, a mansion, beautiful, you hear me? Beautiful. Anyway, it was a couple that lived in the neighborhood, I believe. This man and his wife, they were always trying to get Quentin and his brother-in-law to go fishing. Quentin always said no. I was told Quentin always said no. He was busy. He always said no. But this one particular day, they asked again, and Quentin decided, him and his brother-in-law, to go on this fishing trip. Well, not on a fishing trip. They went out, you know, on the boat to have a good time. You know, the lady, the wife, she cooked food and stuff like that, and they had drinks and stuff on the boat. You know, they went out to have a nice little outing. I don't know if Quentin had gotten funny feelings, because you know, sometimes when you go places or you're going places, your gut, you get that gut feeling, you know what I'm saying? But he's not alive to tell if he did or not, him or his brother-in-law. But anyway, they went out, and the next call that we all got was saying that the couple came back without Quentin and his brother-in-law, and they said that these two drowned. They were nowhere in sight. They claim the you know, the authorities came out and they were looking and stuff like that. They didn't find Quentin's body, excuse me, but they found his brother-in-law. I do not think my cousin's wife continued on with the investigation, because, you know, the authorities told her they can't find him. You know, they went out looking and stuff like that. So that was a done deal. They got to bury the brother-in-law, but Quentin, they had a service for him, you know, but there was no body. Anyway, that was a big puzzle to a lot of us, a lot of the family members. You know, we were all saying, oh, you know, that couple, they probably put something in their food, something in their drink. They were jealous of them, and you know, they pushed them off the boat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And up to this day, I still feel that way, you know, but it has been so many years, and the only being that knows exactly what happened, and those people are God, excuse me. You know, God was there. He knows and he saw what happened. And that couple, I don't know if the couple is still alive. I don't know if they still live over there. My cousin's wife, I don't think she was friendly with them or is friendly with them. I'm not sure, but if she is, you know, I don't think that was a good idea, to be friendly with people that might have taken your husband and your brother out like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's on her. But you know, she's a Sagittarian, and us Sagittarians, you know, we don't go along for the crap. So she probably don't even have anything to do with them or whatever. But she, you know, she is a religious woman, so I'm quite sure she prayed on it, you know. She prayed on it. She's still alive. She's in her 80s. And, you know, I went to visit her because she had came down here to Orlando about a year ago or something like that. Yeah. Hi. And you know, she called me and I went to visit her, you know, at the hotel, because I haven't seen her in many, many years. But, you know, she's still alive, and she recently lost her youngest daughter, but the daughter was sick, I was told, and the daughter was a nurse. But, you know, yeah, you know, things happen, and you know, people, you have to be very aware of your surroundings and the company that you keep. I don't care how quiet or how private you are, there will always be someone out there that acts as though they're close to you, but they're not really close to you. They hate the shit out of you, you know what I'm saying? Or they're jealous of you or something. So you have to be very, very cautious. I saw the videos, I saw the clippings of Mr. Jamal, you know, and I've been listening to his last words he said in his last videos, you know what I'm saying? And allegedly, like, the tea is out, you know, the things that he's saying, you know, it's like starting to make sense, you know what I'm saying? Starting to make sense. A thought came in my head, but I just laughed, you know what I'm saying? Because allegedly, you know, they always throwing Mr. Combs in as soon as someone is unalive. So the thought came in my head when they said he was M. I said, oh Lord, don't tell me that they're gonna try to say Mr. Combs has something to do with that. But I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And this man is locked up in jail. But like they say, people start pointing fingers at people. So I'll be watching the tube to hear more on this tragic case. Yeah, I'm here heading out to the pantry right now. And I'm running across the street. The cars are slowing down, as you can see. And it is hot today, and I'm wearing a black t-shirt. Oh my God. It is so hot. I got my hat, you know, it's attached to my shopping cart right there. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna end my video right now and go sign my name on this volunteer list. The truck is there, I just saw it. So have a good day. Peace.